boys! You know you like this, Tommy!
The history of seatbelts.
In the 1930s, several US physicians equipped their own cars with lap belts and began urging manufacturers to provide them in all new cars.
In 1958, Niels Bohlin, a Volvo design engineer, patents the basics of proper restraint systems for car occupants, better known as the three-point safety belt, which is a commonly used belt today. The next year, Volvo introduces them as standard in Sweden.
In 1962, the January issue of which strongly advocated belt wearing. It was revealed that a third survey of their effectiveness in Britain showed that they reduced the likelihood of death and serious injury by 60%.
1983 was the start of the 3-year trial period of compulsory seatbelt wearing for the driver and front passengers. Over 90% of drivers complied at that time, and still do. And at the end of the trial period, both Houses of Parliament vote overwhelmingly to retain the requirement permanently.
In 1989, it becomes compulsory for children under 14 to wear seatbelts in the back. Then in 1991, the law applies to all passengers.
2003 is the 20th anniversary of seatbelts. 50,000 lives have been saved due to seatbelts.
The mechanism of seatbelt.
That's your first type of seatbelt angle, which just works on the basis that there's a clip inside the actual buckle will clip into. As I said before, you can actually take these to pieces if you wanted to and mend them yourself. They were pretty simple and they're just bolted on to the side of your seat. Obviously they all work on the same principle that once the buckle's in, if you have an accident,
It locks.
yeah. But this is more likely to rely on the seatbelt locking. It will lock slightly,
Yep.
depends on the extent of the accident you've had. Then they modernised them in 1993 to gas cylinders. This is a Vauxhall one. At the moment it's got a safety in. When it's actually in the car, this safety won't be in it. It's a little fork. They're in so that you can take them out and fit them. It will not go off while that safety's in. Obviously if you were to drop it from a great height, I would imagine it would.
Okay.
This works on the operation that basically you put your buckle in and it will lock the same as your standard one.
So obviously when you crash, the piston comes out here and, tightens this whole string here and pulls this tight and
the gas cylinder's roughly about this length. If it has a bang or a crash, then the gas cylinder will go off and shoot a piston out of the end. When it does that, obviously it will tighten up the grey wiring, which you can just see here, and it will also shoot a yellow tag out the end to let you know that seatbelt's gone off. Once it's gone off, you can't put another buckle in. It will just pop it back out. It won't even accept it. You probably could take the casing off, but I wouldn't want to risk it because once that tag's gone, it's redundant. You can't do anything with it. These can't be reconned. Once the gas is gone, it's gone. This fits underneath the seat, so you don't see any of this. You don't see any of the wires. All you can literally see, this is a driver's side, so all you can literally see is this bit. Your plastic cowling for your handbrake and whatnot would be here and would hide all of this. When you need to remove one from a car, you need to take the seat out. They are pretty much jam-packed. When this does go off, it's designed to go off into the footwell, so it won't harm any passenger. Then they modernised them and made them smaller. This is a typical Ford one, but it doesn't have the tag that shoots up when the gas has gone off. You won't know that this one's gone off, no. Where the Vauxhall ones obviously inform you because the yellow tag comes up, but to know that this has gone off, you would need to take the seat out of the car to actually have a look. This is plugged in, so the car knows that the car and the seatbelt anchor themselves know that it's actually in a car rather than in your hand. I'm assuming that's a basic safety device on quite a lot of them. Some of the BMW ones have plugs, so that's a particular safety device. It won't go off if it's not plugged in. As you can see, it's a lot smaller.
Much lighter.
A lot lighter, yeah. And the gas is sort of only about this length inside. Okay, so this is just a standard seat belt. They've pretty much worked on the same principle for many, many years. The more recent cars, sort of 10, 11, 12 plates, have now got gas cylinders, but we're yet to come across those. Your seat belt works on a ball bearing sort of cog inside that won't let you pull the seat belt out unless it's actually fixed in the car, or you can hold it at the right angle to get it to come out. Basically, the seat belt doesn't rely on the anchor in any way, shape or form. It's got its own device.
Okay.
Gas is a lot more reliable.
Okay.
You know, you could have one, maybe a couple of teeth have broken off on the cogs and it doesn't lock. Whereas a gas one, there's just no doubt it's going to lock.
So basically the gas ones, it would just be, instead of having a spring, it would be just a hydraulic, gas piston. It would just push off. Okay, that makes sense.
How airbag works.
Right, Alex, take it from the top. The accelerometer is a sensor that activates the airbag. The accelerometer is a MEMS component, micro-electrical mechanical system, which is made by machining silicon.
This creates something with ascending mass that can pick up movement in different axes, my boy. But as the automotive industry requires electronics to last a minimum of 15 years, the encased protective chip packaging costs 5 times the amount of the chip itself.
A control electronics are used to translate the signal from the chip to the airbag. A certain signal will trigger the airbag to stop it deploying unnecessarily.
Jolly good show, Alex, jolly good show.
The airbag used in most modern cars are electronically controlled, which means that they are set up by electrical signals sent by the accelerometer.
Previously, with the mechanical airbags, they used to be set off by a steel ball overcoming the tension of a spring, which will activate the trigger.
In the front, airbags will be triggered by collision with a stationary solid object at a minimum speed of 12 to 20 miles per hour.
In this case, when the airbag is triggered, it ignites a sodium-based compound that produces a nitrogen gas.
This expands the bag, which will tear the central disc out of the steering wheel and allow the bag to expand.
This whole series of events described here typically will take only 0.15 seconds.
And the material that is mostly commonly used for the airbag is a polyamide, such as nylon.
It's just that we don't didn't make it, but we're still going to show it to you anyways. We thought it was funny.
1, go.
Oh, shoot all that.
Are you ready? What? Okay, I'm the
Alex! Running? Yo, geezer, what is that one out there? Oh, prof.
Right, okay. Like how compose yourself in front of the camera. Just pretend it's not there. It's just funny. Right, okay. I'm still smiling.
It's okay.
That is happy facts. Just
Well, we are running.
It must be fun.
Stop reading.
US visit.
You're not reading, you
Fucking
stuff.
stuff.